The first mistake the Zephyrian Consortium made was believing humans were just another species to be catalogued and controlled. The second mistake was thinking a 6-year-old girl named Emma Chen was expendable. Admiral Sarah Morrison stood on the bridge of the Retribution, watching the orbital bombardment platforms around Zephyr Prime crumble into burning debris. 3 months ago, she had been overseeing peaceful trade negotiations. Today, she commanded the largest human fleet ever assembled, 1,200 ships strong, with more arriving through quantum gates every hour. "Admiral," reported Commander Hayes, his voice tight with barely controlled rage, "the last defense grid is down. The planet is defenseless." Morrison's jaw clenched as she remembered the holographic message that had changed everything. Emma Chen, daughter of Dr. Michael Chen, had been visiting the Zephyrian embassy on Luna with her father for a cultural exchange program. The recording showed 3 Zephyrian assassins cornering the terrified child in a corridor, plasma blades drawn. Her father's desperate screams echoed in the background as he tried to reach her. They had killed them both, a xenobiologist and his 6-year-old daughter. The official Zephyrian statement claimed it was a regrettable accident during a security exercise. Humanity had responded with silence for exactly 72 hours. Then the gates opened, and hell followed. "Sir," the tactical officer's voice cut through Morrison's thoughts, "we're receiving a transmission from the planetary governor." "Put it through." The main screen flickered, revealing Governor Zinthara, his usually proud crest now wilted with fear. Behind him, Morrison could see smoke rising from his capital city through the chamber's windows. "Admiral Morrison," the governor's translator rendered his clicks and whistles into flat, emotionless standard. "Surely we can discuss terms. The incident on Luna was—" "An assassination of a child," Morrison interrupted, her voice like ice. "There are no terms, Governor. There is only consequence." The governor's compound eyes darted frantically. "But your species claims to value mercy. Your own laws speak of proportional response." Morrison leaned forward in her command chair. "You're absolutely right, Governor. We do value mercy. We have rules about proportional response." She paused, letting the silence stretch. "But you see, there's something you never understood about humans. When you threaten our children, those rules don't apply anymore." Across the fleet, 18 different human cultures were represented: European Federation, African Union, Asian Coalition, American states, and dozens of colony worlds. They had put aside centuries of political differences in less than a week. The moment the footage of Emma Chen's murder had been broadcast, every human government had spoken with one voice. "This will not stand." "Commander Hayes," Morrison said, without breaking eye contact with the governor, "deploy the hunter-killer squadrons to the outer system. Any ship attempting to flee is to be disabled and boarded. I want every individual who authorized, planned, or participated in the Luna incident." "Admiral, please," the governor's voice cracked. "We will turn over those responsible. We will pay reparations. We will—" "You will do nothing," Morrison cut him off, "because you are no longer in charge of this system." The transmission ended. Morrison turned to her communications officer. "Signal the fleet. Begin Phase 2. What followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. Human ships didn't just occupy the Zephyrian system, they dissected it. Every space station was boarded. Every computer core was cracked open. Every communication was analyzed by quantum AIs that could process 1 billion conversations simultaneously. Within days, the conspiracy unraveled. The assassination hadn't been authorized by the governor or even the consortium leadership. It had been ordered by a radical faction called the Purity Clause, who believed that allowing humans into Zephyrian space would contaminate their culture. 12 individuals had planned Emma's murder. 47 had known about it and said nothing. But humanity's response went beyond simple justice. "This is Admiral Morrison to all consortium worlds," she broadcast on every frequency. "You have wondered why humanity reacted so strongly to the death of one child. Let me explain something about our species. We are pack hunters. We are persistence predators. And when you harm our young, we don't just hunt the guilty, we hunt until the very idea of harming a human child becomes unthinkable. The second phase lasted 6 months. Human fleets appeared in every consortium system, not to conquer, but to investigate. Every government official, every military leader, every intelligence operative was questioned. Those who had even peripheral knowledge of anti-human sentiment were catalogued. Those who had expressed support for the Purity Clause found their bank accounts frozen, their trade licenses revoked, their worlds cut off from human commerce. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as humanity demonstrated something that no species had ever witnessed: the complete systematic dismantling of not just the perpetrators, but the entire ideological ecosystem that had made Emma Chen's murder possible. By the time the third phase began, most consortium worlds were begging to surrender. But humanity wasn't interested in surrender. They were interested in evolution. The consortium as you knew it is over, Morrison announced from the steps of the Zephyrian Parliament building. We're not here to rule you. We're here to remake you. From this day forward, any government that allows anti-human extremism to flourish will find itself replaced. Any military that trains soldiers to see humans as acceptable targets will be disbanded. Any culture that teaches that some sapient species are more worthy than others will be reformed. The final phase took 2 years. Human educators arrived to rewrite curricula. Human engineers rebuilt infrastructure. Human judges established new courts. They didn't impose human culture, they imposed human values. The recognition that all sapient life had inherent worth. The understanding that children of any species were off limits. The principle that ideological differences didn't justify murder. When Admiral Morrison finally stood down her fleet, the Zephyrian Consortium had become something new. The first multi-species democracy based on human constitutional principles. Other species across the galaxy watched and began to wonder if perhaps it was time to reevaluate their own societies. But the real message had been sent. Carved in quantum steel across a dozen star systems was humanity's promise. Touch our children, and we will remake your entire civilization to ensure it never happens again. Emma Chen had been 6 years old. She had liked strawberry ice cream and stories about brave knights. She had wanted to be a xenobiologist like her father. She had been one human child, and she had changed the galaxy.